Today is Wednesday, October 18th. I can't believe that we're in mid-October already. It's a little overcast today, but it's beautiful. It's supposed to get up into the high 80s again, and we've had pretty much a week of that. So here's my mums that are starting to bloom. It's funny how the sun kind of fades out those colors, but those are real brilliant over there, back in the back and down on the bottom. There's a salvia, getting nice and big and pretty. The petunias are loving their new home. Got some dahlias that are finally blooming. This too is a dahlia. And that's a gazania. And I got some mums in there as well. The mums over here are starting to bloom. And then I planted some mums out here in this pot. Nothing too exciting around the fountain. The plants have gotten a little bit bigger, but they're not exactly what I was expecting in here. I was figuring that they'd fill it in nicely, but not really. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's the bougainvillea. Petunias back there are coming alive. Then we planted around the bridge. I took out the grass, and those pots just aren't even surviving because it was so full of grass roots. But we put two of the lantanas that were over in the garden here by the bridge, and so now all of these pots are pretty much new with older lantana plants in them. There's our another bougainvillea, the Cape honeysuckle. Still haven't planted anything here. Here's the peppers. Poblanos. They're not very big. Well, this one's kind of big, but not as big as poblanos can get. That's the Cape honeysuckle, and the bees really love it. Here's the little loco peppers. We took out all the tomatillos, and all of these are basically empty. I mean, they have a gooseberry or whatever in them, but they're really tiny. They never got big. They look like they're big, but they're basically hollow. So that's why we took them out. There wasn't going to be anything to really harvest anyway. Took out the tomato plants. We've got lots of eggplants still maturing. think this is about it for these blooming. And I don't know if these are seeds or not. I gotta look it up. The tomato plant trying to get in there. There's an agave we planted back there, and then I took that heavenly bamboo plant that was here, and we planted this king tut papyrus that was out front, and I doubt that it'll grow, but we don't really care. This is going crazy. The hummingbirds love this, so do the bees. Got some zucchini that are ready to harvest. Still haven't moved the palm tree. My husband finished up this planter over by the block wall, and he moved this box that was for the sprinkler system, and so then I've planted seeds all along here just this past week. So I've got beans and onions. There's onions coming up. No sign of the beans yet, or the peas. I planted some peas as well, but the onions are starting to peek up through the soil. There's an onion. We love green onions. Anyway, all along this bed I've done that. And I planted a couple of seedling onions here that were from seeds I gathered from the garden last year. There's some more onions that are coming up, but nothing in the back yet. I'm hoping that they pop up. And then you can tell we kind of cleaned out our garden a little bit. We still got all of our peppers going, and they're looking pretty good. This little plant popped up. I don't know if it's a cantaloupe or cucumbers. I'm hoping it's cucumbers, but I bet it's cantaloupe. Some peppers. There's just a lot of peppers right there. A lot of peppers right here. Still got quite a few eggplants. I think they're such a pretty plant. I really like them. I got our scaffolding in the background. We haven't taken it down from our painting job, but I am done with it. And then I took the marigolds that were in this pot out. We got rid of this tomato plant that was over here that had kind of taken over this whole area. We left the one tomato plant that I like the tomatoes on, but so do the birds. So I don't know. I mean, it looks spindly, but there are quite a few tomatoes mixed in it. So I've got strawberries. And then if the marigolds look bad, I took them out. There's some bees working away on the marigolds. But for the most part, I cleared out this walkway. The marigolds were thick in here, and are no longer. Here's my parsley. It looks pretty. There's an eggplant. And another eggplant back in there. And then these are the, I gotta remember what kind of peppers those are. Those are big ones. And I think I'm gonna take all of these eggplants out. They're looking kind of weak. But look at this eggplant that's growing out of the compost. Still going strong. Just shows when it likes its home, it likes its home. Let's see if I can figure out. Anaheim. So that's what these big ones are. That's a big one. That's a really big one. This one in here. That's the garden. This is my Schiffelera. I forgot to show it. We're ready to transport that into the house soon. But one of the things I really came out to do is, oh, there's a hummingbird. I really came out to show the trees. I think it's unusual that they're yellow already. I think we usually, and maybe that's a sign of a weak tree, I don't know. But we usually have leaves on our trees up until almost Thanksgiving. And this year, they're all looking like they're gonna turn early. We're gonna lose them early, maybe. So I just kind of wanted to capture that on camera, so I have some kind of reference point for next year, and then I'll know for sure. And it could be that it's different every year depending on the weather. I don't know. The neighbors' trees are still dark green, so they haven't even. But they usually get leaves later than ours, and they stay on the tree longer. Of course, that's an olive tree, so it never loses its leaves. Oh, and the firethorn, it's going to be pretty. It's got lots of berries, and they turn bright red at a certain point. So that's going to be interesting to see this year. That's it. Today is October the 13th, a Friday the 13th. And this is what I got out of the garden. I have a zucchini, about 6 big eggplants, then some Japanese eggplants, some okra, and then I got some basil because I'm making a pasta salad. And that's it. Oh, and a pepper. 1 pepper.